I've gotten several questions on weight gain and recovery that I'd like to address just all together today. One was, can you make a video on weight gain and recovery and how you dealt with it and what was the process for you? And another one was, what was your weight gain like and did you overshoot and then lose or readjust? And I'm just trying to put my faith in the fact that my weight gain will drop when I'm further into recovery. She said that she's 4 months in and she just feels super uncomfortable in her own skin. So yeah, and there's others that are similar, but I want to address these. So personally, within my eating disorder, I went from 119 pounds up to 140 and then down to 135 in my fitness days. Throughout recovery, I settled at 159, and this was my set weight point where my body always goes to and it wants to be at. So it can always change in the future, of course, but that's life. This is where I feel my healthiest at. My sex drive is high, my energy levels are high, my brain power is great, my moods are stable, and I just feel healthy. So I overshot to 185 pounds and I'm 5'7". So overall, my weight readjusted, but also my mind eventually readjusted to this as well. I didn't get back to 130 pounds like I was when I was a teenager, you know? I made sure I was going in with the intent to not get hooked on the number, not to make a habit out of it. So I was surprised to see that I had lost 25 pounds just from letting go of the focus on the weight gain and just continuing to live my life and go out with friends and date a guy and give and receive love and laugh and eat what I wanted when I wanted without any restrictions. And to exercise moderately. So exercise moderately, I mean, I'd take a week off if I was traveling or if I was too fatigued and my body was just asking for rest. But when I had tons of energy and I felt the urge to get out and move my body, I'd go for it. I'd go for a run, a hike, a swim, or do 30 minutes of body weight exercises or regular weights. Just whatever I was feeling like. And so how did I deal with the weight gain? I literally had to let go of the number and stop weighing myself and constantly make an effort on not trying to focus on my weight. And I know that's so hard. I know hearing that might be like, what the fuck? But it's part of the challenge. This is a challenge. I was following body positive, anti-diet podcasts, Instagram accounts, books, blogs, YouTube accounts, you name it. I got help from a coach who helped me along my journey as a stepping stone just to keep me on track. So pretty much I was just saturating my mind with body positive, self-acceptance, and anti-diet, anti-dogma thoughts and ideas and words and mindsets. So this helps rewire the brain for new and healthy mindsets and habits and thought patterns around body ideals, both personally and for others in real life or within the media and social media. So it's as if we're slowly taking off the fog goggles that distort our perception on what a body should look like, because we aren't born with these fog goggles, but our environment within the modern diet and beauty culture, the fog glasses are screwed on under our noses. So we need to begin to really take in the fact that all bodies should be different, like snowflakes. Maybe some have a resemblance to each other, but really, like all things in nature, everything is so unique, and that's the beauty of it. Man tries to control and conform and make everything so linear and black and white. Nature is more flowing and chaotic and contrasting and colorful. And us humans are a part of nature. Even if we've become more separate over the domestication of our culture, at the end of the day, we aren't separate. So anyways, I'll get out of that rant. And just know, I know the feeling of how uncomfortable it feels when the weight keeps creeping up and climbing. Because mine was quick. Within the first week, even though it was edema and fat gain, it was horrifying. And my eyes didn't have time to adjust or adapt. And I quickly wanted to revert back. And I did a couple of times to try to control the weight, but that didn't help. My body wouldn't release the weight even if I did try to go back to the restricting at this point. So eventually I just had to completely let go and just fully 110% embrace the process of letting go. Something just finally clicked in my head and I was able to fully dive into recovery fully. And of course it wasn't perfect from there on out, but I had my ups and downs, and well, because that's life and it'll always be like that. But that's the challenge in life that we always have to deal with. So you have to become strong in your new ways in order to stick to them, because you can't get away from the diet culture and the photoshopped magazine photos for the time being. And hopefully one day the media gets away from all that bullshit, but for now it is what it is. And developing an inner strength will keep you going and to successfully recover and stay recovered. I also have to throw in this the fact that the more you focus on weight gain, the longer it will seem to take. The more unreachable it will seem, and it's almost as if your body is holding on to the weight for a deeper purpose further than healing and starvation, as if it's supposed to be a learning lesson for us to be able to find acceptance for ourselves at our worst, supposedly, or at a higher weight. It forces us to feel uncomfortable, to really define our value outside of our weight, and to realize that you can still have fun and be loved and receive love and give love at a higher weight. And of course, we don't want to see it as this and want to write it off as being too esoteric or something, but the reality is we are spiritual beings, or religious, or whatever your belief is, regardless of if we think that it's cheesy or not. And our emotional body is just as real as our mental and physical, and they're all interconnected. They all affect each other. If one's out of balance, it will affect the other. And looking back now, I can see that the weight gain was for healing and as a rebound effect for being in starvation mode for so long. But I also realized it was a time of growth, to empower myself to the reality that I am more than my weight. And the more I focused on the redistribution of the weight and the weight loss, the longer my body held on to the weight, oddly enough. So I've written a blog post on the top 8 ways, I think, of getting over the body dysmorphia that I'll hopefully be posting within the next week or 2. So if you want to get a heads up for that when it comes out, or any future posts or videos or whatever else, make sure to sign up for my newsletter. And to do that, you just go to my website, damnthediets.com, and enter your email and name, and then I'll also immediately, it sends you my 3 guides that I made for you and recovery. Yeah, check it out. And also let me know if you have any questions that you'd like for me to address in any future videos. I love answering these questions on here. I mean, I could just talk out of my ass, but it helps to know specific questions that you have for me to keep me on track and to continue to provide content that you really want. And I still need to do one on intuitive exercise for a couple people. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, feel free to share this video with anyone that you feel might benefit from it. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back soon.